Tonight at 9, bail denied. The man accused of killing a 3-year-old girl in D.C. court today. The latest in his case.
And the weather, well, it's improving slightly for some, although there's still storms out there. We'll show you the latest radar coming up.
Bus crash hurt 7 people. What happened in broad daylight today on the roads and where? The latest in the investigation. Saddle up. One former NFL player turned farmer, now camp counselor, is giving Maryland kids the summer experience of a lifetime. And summer savings from a dip in the pool to your next trip to the spa. We're finding ways this season to stretch your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Saturday evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. Well, if you're in Northern Virginia, Montgomery County today, you might have seen some spotty showers that popped up. I know that we actually have some flash flood warnings in effect tonight.
Yeah, we actually had Dave Laval out and about tracking stuff. He did find some, flooded areas, but roads that he was seeing weren't quite that flooded when he arrived there. But needless to say, over the last 6 hours, anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 and even 5 inches worth of rain has fallen from the sky over a short amount of time. That created first initially flash flooding, which became aerial flood warnings now. And some of those warnings do last here into the wee hours of the morning. One such warning is sliced across portions of Prince William County as well as Fairfax County. That's here. That's around Boxwood Farms down towards Bushy Acres. That's one particular warning. That goes to 2:30 in the morning. A little further east, closer towards here Camelot and near Annandale and between Annandale and Ida, Fairfax County, that flood warning goes in effect till 1:45. This is primarily for small streams, rivers, and creeks which have overflown their banks in that area. But as you noted here with our radar, we still are seeing some storms coming through West Virginia, moving closer towards the eastern panhandle of West Virginia, impacting also Allegheny County here in western Maryland. And the future radar over the next 2 hours show these showers on this line of it continuing. So I wouldn't be surprised, and there's some lightning with it, to see some thunder and lightning with these storms. Right now they're under severe limits. Back to you, Ben.
Meteorologist Scott Sumner. Thank you, Scott. We'll see you in just a bit. New tonight, 7 people reportedly hurt after a bus crashed with a car today in southeast D.C. Firefighters say it happened on Wheeler Road and Alabama Avenue. Of those 7 folks who were hurt, 5 went to the hospital. Good news, authorities say nobody was seriously injured. The cause of the crash still unknown at this hour. Meantime, 2 people were shot overnight in the district. Police say 2 men were hit with bullets in Northeast around 3 a.m. Happened on Oakey Street near New York Avenue in the Ivy City area. Those men sent to the hospital conscious and breathing. No updates tonight on their condition if it's progressed. Investigators have not yet shared what led up to the shooting. Well, happening today, the man accused of killing a 3-year-old girl last weekend was in court. 24-year-old Charles Rucker will continue to be held in jail without bail. He also did not enter a plea during this afternoon's hearing in Superior Court. Now, charging documents say that Rucker fired several shots into the car that little Honesty Cheadle was in during the early morning hours of July the 5th along a section of 14th Street and Southeast. Friends say Honesty and her family were about to go home from an Independence Day party. Documents said surveillance video captured Rucker as he fired before he went into a nearby apartment building. He reportedly came back, picked up items from the ground. Investigators believe those were spent casings. Police reported no other injuries. Rucker, however, is charged with first-degree murder while armed. He could be sentenced to life in prison without parole if convicted. Well, we've learned 2 people were shot in Manassas early this morning as well in a busy commercial area. Officers say it happened on Phoenix Drive a little after 4 a.m. just off of Centerville Road, north of Old Town Manassas. Police say they found a boy and a female of an unknown age shot. The boy taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Female was treated on scene. No word exactly what happened, but authorities believe there is no threat to the public. Well, the crackdown continues on crimes involving young people in D.C. The first of newly extended curfew zones have started, barring anyone 17 years old and younger from being at Navy Yard after 8 p.m. Comes after Mayor Bowser signed a curfew emergency bill into law just this week. Our Daniel Hamburg has this story.
On the first night of the extended juvenile curfew zone in Navy Yard, a lot of people are happy with the change.
The neighborhood has been calling for that for a long time.
It's in effect Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 8 p.m. until 11, when the district-wide curfew kicks in through 6 a.m.
If the kids don't like it too bad, they should be held accountable for their actions.
The law says in the special curfew zones, those 17 and under are prohibited from gathering in a group of 9 or more in any public space or on the premises of any establishment.
Our focus will be on explaining the law to young people, getting engaged with them, and trying to get compliance with them and ask them to leave the area so we can get them into positive activities.
Over the past several months, Navy Yard has been a hotbed of crime, including more than 20 kids arrested and charged for primarily setting off fireworks in Navy Yard during the July 4th weekend.
And this is my son right here. He just turned 8. My daughter, she just turned 7, so it's all about keeping them safe at the end of the day. So whatever keep the kids safe, I'm with it.
Depending on how the weekend goes, the extended curfew zone could be lengthened.
The chief has the option, the mayor has the option to extend a curfew in an area up to 30 days. So that's an option that they'll have. And after we go through this 4-day period, we can take an evaluation, see where to go from there.
Daniel Hedberg reporting. Meantime, teens in Prince George's County will face a curfew in Laurel. Leaders say it's in effect from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. for anyone under 17 in public spaces and not accompanied by a parent or legal guardian. They also say the curfew lasts through Saturday, August 31st. Turning our focus to that Texas tragedy, President Trump and the First Lady visited after scores of people were killed, buildings damaged from those floods. At least 160 people still reportedly missing. More than 120 have died. Many are kids. During the president's visit yesterday, he approved more federal resources to help. And a new video giving fresh perspective of the destruction, massive mounting debris. This was taken in Leander, a town north of Austin. It's hard to even fathom it's habitable there. A neighboring community says a bridge serving as the only way in and out was also damaged. It comes as new details emerge after Virginia search and rescue teams were deployed. Task Force 1 includes 3 police dogs and a search manager. Their work will continue as recovery operations continue and families look for closure. Well, connection back here at home as well. One animal shelter serving our region is helping fly shelter animals in Central Texas to safety to make room there for the many stranded pets to reunite with their families. The Brandywine Valley SPCA, which cares for animals in D.C., received a rescue flight today. They're helping relocate at least 20 dogs from the first flight alone. The shelter says most of the dogs come from one of the hardest hit areas of those floods.
We would love to take in more animals from Texas, but we need empty kennels to do that. So we're calling on our community to step up. If they've been thinking about adopting a pet, now's the time to do it.
A second rescue flight will bring about 20 dogs and cats tomorrow. The animals from both days will be taken to Southeast Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Well, Prince George's County launched a healthy food distribution site today to fight food insecurity. It's a District 8 Healthy Families program partnering with the Storehouse and Victory Church International. Organizers say that over 1,000 families signed up for the event. Adding, residents have been struggling to put meals on the table. Several reasons, they say. Those impacted by federal workforce cuts and high.
We see a lot of activity around food insecurity, around the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. But the reality is we know that we have people who are hungry throughout the year. It's just so important that we have programs like this to meet the need, and we know that the need is significant.
Food distributions will take place through a drive-through pickup on the 2nd and 4th Sundays of each month. I get a load of this. A former NFL player turned farmer, now camp counselor, but he's roping in kids from Maryland to give them a summer experience of a lifetime. They're hiking, fishing, and encouraged to horse around a bit. Our Tim Reed shows us how kids are ready to saddle up.
Riding horses is something these kids at camp in Upper Marlboro have never experienced. The camp is being held here at Westbrook Farm. The mission is to give these kids experiences with horses they will never forget.
Good, we're gonna have our thumbs on top, we're gonna have our toes up, and we're gonna have our leg giving her body a hug.
Dozens of kids get to do something they've never done before. They get to go horseback riding every day in summer camp at the Westbrook Farm.
I really like this camp. At first, I thought it was like going to be really boring, but now I actually experienced it, and now it seems really good.
9-year-old Andrew Bennett and his friends are having the time of their lives. Not only are they getting to learn horsemanship, but they get to paint the equipment on the farm, go fishing and hiking.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. When I first came here, I didn't think that we was going to ride horses, and we rode horses, and it was the first time that I ever rode a horse. So it was really fun.
You're gonna engage your core, little back and belly muscle. Super job. You look good.
Since the weather is hot and humid, camp instructors make sure all the kids stay hydrated.
Because as much as we sweat, we have to put back in. Everybody's gotten a little bit lightheaded when they aren't drinking enough, and they've got to keep putting it in because you're sweating it out.
Farm owner and former NFL player with the Philadelphia Eagles, Brian Westbrook, says he is partnering with the county sheriff to give these kids opportunities to be outdoors and learn new experiences.
Well, it gives them opportunity to first see horses, to be around horses, to ride horses, to understand horsemanship.
The one-week summer camp started on Monday, but there will be 2 more sessions for kids in August. In Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
All right, thanks to Tim. Coming up this summer, he can do a number on, yes, your hair. We're helping you stretch your dollar with why you don't need to splurge on expensive products. Plus, one very hardworking airport employee back on the job after a few weeks of medical leave. The warm welcome for Freddie the Beagle after someone kicked him while on the clock. Live look over DC tonight. Roslyn off in the distance. Scott's coming back with your forecast. Yeah, those flash flood warnings for parts of our region. What you need to know coming up.